Howdy, folks. Good morning. Welcome to another edition of Morning Coffee. And I'm your host, Brent Copeland. Like you didn't know that, but you do now, just in case you didn't. Hope everybody had a wonderful weekend and a fantastic Halloween. I had a Halloween, and it was fantastic. I actually I did. I set up a whole green screen setup out in my driveway with a big TV so kids could get in front of the screen. I had all these like backgrounds that were like animated Halloween backgrounds that I could change through and get that all set up. Then it rained, so I had to tear everything down and get it in my garage real quick. And then it stopped raining, so I got it all back out there. And the first kids who came by, they nearly destroyed the whole setup because they were very handsy. And I wasn't prepared for handsy kids, even though I should have been, because I should have known better, right? You don't put TVs out there and video cameras and don't expect people to get handsy. And they did get handsy, and I guess I thought as a parent I would tell my kids, get your grubby little mitts off the expensive hardware, kids. That didn't happen. So then the next kid came by, and he was probably too old to be trick-or-treating. I mean, as soon as you're trick-or-treating by yourself, like, I think maybe that's time to call it, right? Like, you need at least a friend or something to go with you. Don't just go out in your army fatigues door to door asking for candy. You're a little old at that point. Have fun, stay home, give out candy and scare the kids. Don't, like, seriously. So I was like, hey, you want to try the green screen out? And he goes, nah, I'm good, man. And I was like, okay, you're too old. And that seems pointless for you. And then anyway, then I needed to go because my kids were ready to go trick-or-treating, and I wanted to go with them. I didn't want to sit at home while they went door to door. So packed everything up again and went trick-or-treating. And it was a lot of fun. We went all over our neighborhood. We're in this weird like loop that has 6 cul-de-sacs off it. It's like a spider. The 6-legged spider, not an 8-legged one. And so we went all around and went through the whole thing. Then my nephew showed up like when we got done, and so my son wanted to go back out with him. So I was like, well, you got to at least change your costume. You can't go back in the same thing. So he put on the scary, I thought I had it here. Put on that scary blue mask I have in a spirit hood. It was a rather creepy costume. Went double dipping. So there's so much candy in this house right now. Way too much. I think I'm going to start taking like handfuls of it every day and putting it into like a box and then putting it away with our Halloween stuff and giving that out next year. It'll still be good, right? So anyway, then we get back and it's kind of late, 8:30-ish. And I was about to start setting the stuff up, but at that point we were getting a whole bunch of kids coming by, But a few years ago, our neighborhood was like notorious for just having a good time. I mean, like every house was open, the lights popped on, playing music, half the houses and stuff going on. It was like a block party. And I guess people, I don't know how they find out about it, but like seriously, there would be like vans of kids dropping them off at the front, and they would come through the whole. And we're not like a rich neighborhood. We're actually a very kind of, I won't say poor, but middle of the road neighborhood, 1,500 square foot houses, sort of thing. And so like I would go through $100 of candy those years, and I think it was kind of annoying, like having kids dropped off to your neighborhood. You're like, no, go to your neighborhood. Like, why are you coming here? We don't have the... Anyway, so This year was kind of pathetic. It was like 1 out of 5 houses had the lights on, giving out candy. And like, as I started seeing these like vans pull up and drop kids off, like just at the houses that had lights on, and then like all the kids would get back in the car or the van and like drive down a couple houses and hop out again. I'm like, seriously? No, walk. You've got to walk. That's part of the Halloween experience, is walking. And I know I sounded like an old man right now, but I don't care. Because if you're not walking, you're not doing it right. And the same thing with the parents. Get your lazy asses out of the cars and walk with your kids. See how they act at the houses. Make sure they're giving thank yous and happy Halloweens, pleases, and so they kind of ruined Halloween, those parents, for me. So I didn't pull out the setup again. I just handed out candy. And so yeah, that was my Halloween night. So had a lot of fun with my kids. Not so much fun with other people's kids. Got all the stuff outside cleaned up yesterday. Still cleaning up the inside Halloween mess. And moving all the setup out there. It took me a little while to get set up again for the show today. I've actually lost a cable I've got to find, but I found something to do a half-assed replacement job of it for the show. So, speaking of other things going on with me, today I've getting back on schedule. Got my Google Calendar all set up for the week. Hopefully doing some recording with old Mazzy Moo. Got him set up. Now he just needs to show up. Also, I've got to go by the studio and drop off my keys. It's a little sad. And I'm trying to figure out my office, because I want to be able to do, like, I feel like I'm really close up right now to the camera. And I've got it set up where I can use the real camera. And so I've got this overhead thing up here that blocks my desk, and I want to pull that off and put a camera back so I can do a kind of wider shot with a bigger screen of, like, when I'm talking about stuff, to put them up next to me, like a newscast, right? But I don't know if I can do it in this office, so I'm looking at my kids' playroom, because they use it to basically play the Wii and the Xbox. That's about it, and store their Legos, so I'm kind of going through and doing some house cleanup and trying to figure out if I want to move down there. So we'll see. Speaking of moving, might be moving to a different streaming platform. I'm using Hitbox right now, but they still haven't gotten back to me about partnership, which I thought it was for everyone now that got partnership with Hitbox, but apparently maybe not. So I just found out that my good friend Matt over at mcprohosting.com is starting his own service called Beam. It's at beam.pro. So I've signed up for that, and I've signed up for the alpha. So hopefully I can convince him to let me start streaming over there, and we can see how that is. And since I know him, hopefully we can get the things we need incorporated into our stream, like the variable bit rate or whatever people need to watch on their phones. So definitely looking forward to that. See if we can get that done in the next couple days or something. Also, that's right, it's summer. What happened today in history? Bonesy, where are you? Bonesy's gone. Bonesy left me. So I'll have to tell you what happened today in history instead. Apparently on November 3rd, 1998, the former professional wrestler Jesse the Body Ventura was elected governor of Minnesota, which is one of our states. What am I talking about? Have you ever just had like one of those brain farts where you're like, But yeah, he got elected to Minnesota with 37% of the vote. Minnesota was the 32nd state of the union, if that helps you out anymore. It's weird. Like, I just had this brain fart of like, wait, is Minnesota a state? It's crazy. Anyway, but he's a wrestler, pro wrestler. I grew up watching him and the beefcakes and they all had names, and he had a name, The Body, and he's a governor. It's crazy. It's crazy, I tell you. Also, little fact, we were talking about caffeine, and this show's about caffeine, and oh my god, my cup of coffee is not here. I wanted to have a drink of it, but it's downstairs in the microwave being heated up. Well, we will have to continue on. So the fact of the day is caffeine helps increase your ability to learn, understand, and remember. Apparently I needed more this morning to remember that my coffee is in the microwave. Also, caffeinated coffee cuts mouth and throat cancer risk by 50%. So that's another reason to drink caffeinated coffee. Yes, sirree. So what else I'm not going to forget today are comments. You left comments, you ask questions. Each and every video, I go back the next day and I will do my best to answer what you ask. And I will usually have your comments as well if they're just comments. So today we had a few, so let's get to those. First one here from Maxo11X says, feeling bad that I missed Halloween as I was on a trip, but keeping to the theme, how many trick-or-treaters do you get? And I kind of went over that. Most, it's kind of, weather was really bad, not really bad, but it rained and then it got cold this year, so it was slacked up. Some years, I mean, seriously, we probably get hundreds. So, I mean, like the first year, last year it rained, so it's kind of hard to like tell if it's a trend or not. Last year, we went out in the rain anyway last year. We're hardcore like that. But, like the first years we lived here, man, it was like you got home from work at like 5, and I swear that doorbell rang, and you're like, oh, just let me get stuff set up. And, then like by 6, it was just like a nonstop stream of kids just walking up, getting candy from 6 to 9 and past. So tons. These past years, really not that many. I would say really a handful, 30, 40, something like that. JBJ Blaze says hello again. Do you give such an approach to family or even child-friendly content? That, or your pirate costume is getting the best of your ego. I'm not sure what that means, JBJ Blaze. Not at all. As for my Shaft question, why not put it up on the Shaft podcast? Anyway, I like the idea. To conclude, thanks again for the show and have a fine weekend. I had one. I hopefully fixed my van in the process too. Did some work on it. Anyway, Mackenzie Drew asked, what TV shows do you tend to watch religiously? And wow, there's way too many. I don't know if I can even remember them all. I watch way too much TV. But let's see. I love The Arrow, Flash, Survivor, Utopia. Utopia is kind of weak, but Project Runway, yeah, I do that. I love Chopped, the Cutthroat Kitchen, How to Get Away with Murder has been a really good one. Been watching Scandal a little bit. What else is there? Castle, Bad Judge. Is that one? Yeah. Like I said, way too much TV. Pretty much everything. I watch it all. I really like the legal dramas. Those are probably some of my favorites. I was trying to think of more, but I can't right now. So that's what you get right now. Super Mastodon says, Happy Halloween, Captain Brent Matey. You should have kept your pigtails for your pirate costume. Oh, I think I would have been walking the plank if I had done that. But thank you. And the Gaming Walk says, Happy Halloween, Brent from Outback, Australia. I hope you had a ball. I wish I did more for the day, since it's already November 1st here, than putting out fires. This time I do have a question, though. How highly do you rate Halloween against all other holidays you celebrate? I'm curious as a person who has never celebrated All Hallows Eve because it's never been all that relevant. And that's what I hear down in Australia. That's what Maz is telling me, is it really isn't that big of a deal. But Halloween's up there to me. I mean, it's probably one of the biggest ones. I mean, you've got to celebrate every year. Got to. And it's just fun. It's just kind of a fun night. You know, I don't get not wanting to, you know, it's not to me like celebrating anything. It's not like, Veterans Day where you're showing appreciation for veterans or Christmas, celebrating the birth of Jesus or, any of these holidays celebrating something. It's no longer a night of celebrating the harvest, right? That's basically what it comes from, is all the pagan holidays celebrating like the start of the harvest and also keeping away evil spirits or whatever. It's now just it's like party night. It's a fun night. Like, you're not celebrating anything. You're just spending time with family and your kids, and they get to dress up and you take pictures of them in their costumes. They get to get a bunch of free candy, which isn't really free because you're buying candy to give out to the other kids. So it's like, you basically, like I've offered the kids before, if y'all just want to stay home and hand out candy, just tell me what your favorites are and I'll get those, and y'all can, because we use it as just a night to just hang out and have fun and watch some, well, we didn't watch any scary movies with the kids per se, but what's it called? Not Freak Show. It's the one that happens every year. It's an evil show. Last year they had the witches. This year it's the carnival. Anyway, that show. Oh, Walking Dead. I watched that too. It's a good time to have friends over and just have fun. It's all about having fun. It's not so much celebrating anything. So, but I put it way up there. It's a good one. Finally, since you did this whole episode in character as a pirate and you didn't say this line, I'm going to have to put it here. What is your pirate's favorite letter? You think it might be R, but it'd be C. That was from the Gaming Walk. Very nice. I should have thrown in some more pirate humor. I missed my chances. Next year, I'll probably be a pirate again. So you all have a wonderful day. I'm going to go get to it and get to work. So thanks for tuning in, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.